Welcome to the Circle Sessions featuring the Circle of Experts. Each week, one of the Circle of Experts joins me to talk about critical aspects of growing your podcast. We focus on marketing, social media, monetization, and website design to help you implement all of these together. Well, the Circle of Experts are Yasmin Robles from Robles Designs, Tanisha English Amamu of TJE Communications, and Don the Idea Guy. I'm Brett Johnson from Circle 270 Media Podcast Consultants. And you've got me solo this week. Let's talk about how to leverage collaborative marketing for your podcast. So what are we talking about? We're talking about collaborative marketing. It can be a game changer for your podcast. What we're talking about is how you can start building a podcaster partnership that pays off with more listeners while potentially increasing income. First of all, let's identify complementary podcasts. Find podcasters that offer services or products that complement yours. For example, if you publish a podcast for your pet food store, consider partnering with a local veterinarian who has a podcast. Action items for you to find that and identify that complementary podcaster. List potential podcast partners. Start with a list of podcasters that serve the same target audience without directly competing with you. Once you've nailed down who you're trying to reach, it's time to do some digging. Look for podcasts that are in the same ballpark as yours when it comes to interest and demographics. And don't just stick to audio. Branch out to video podcasts and YouTube channels as well. When you're checking out potential partners, pay attention to the quality of their content. Are they bringing their A game? How engaged is their audience? And most importantly, does their brand jive with yours? Research the synergies. Think about it. Who out there could benefit from your expertise and vice versa? Maybe you're a true crime podcaster looking to team up with a forensic expert. Or if you're deep into the world of indie music, why not reach out to that cool venue owner? Once you've got a short list, it's time to do your homework. Dive into their episodes, get a feel for what they do. You're looking for hosts who click with your style, someone who can benefit from your energy and presence, but then bring something fresh to the table. Number 2, create joint offers and bundles. Collaborative marketing works best when both podcasters benefit. Think about it. You've got skills, they've got skills, so why not combine forces? Creating joint offers or bundled services can attract more listeners and customers to both podcasters. Bundled services can be a real game changer for your bottom line. Listeners love getting more bang for their buck, so they're more likely to bite when they get offered a sweet package deal. Here's what you can do. Okay, so design a bundle. Combine your services with those of your partner podcaster to create a value-packed offer. Say you're killing it in the fitness space with your workout tips and tricks. Now, imagine joining forces with a nutrition guru. Just like that, you've created a one-stop shop for health nuts. Your listeners get the best of both worlds, killer workouts and meal plans that make their taste buds dance. But here's the kicker. It's really not about slapping two services together. It's about crafting an irresistible package that screams value. Promote together. Use both podcasters' marketing channels to promote the bundle. This expands your reach and introduces you to each other's audiences. It's a networking goldmine you're tapping into. You're basically piggybacking on each other's audiences, expanding your reach without doubling the work. It's a win-win situation that'll have your download numbers soaring. Number 3, host joint webinars and workshops. Picture this. You and a partner podcaster joining forces to host a webinar or workshop. It's like a podcast crossover episode, but with even more potential. You're not just doubling your reach. You're creating a powerhouse of knowledge that'll have your listeners hooked. Think about it. You bring unique insights to the table, and your partner brings theirs. So steps to take. Plan the event. Pick a topic that's a perfect fit for what you do and what your partner knows inside and out. It's like finding that sweet spot where your skills collide in the best possible way. Let's say you're a financial whiz and your buddy's a tax guru. Why not team up for a workshop that'll knock the socks off small business owners? Something catchy like mastering money moves for small biz, from budgets to tax hacks. This kind of collaboratives, it can be gold for your audience. They're getting a 2-for-1 deal. Your financial savvy mixed with your partner's tax smarts. It's the kind of content that'll have your listeners thinking, wow, these folks really get what I'm dealing with. Plus, it's a killer way to show off your expertise without coming across too salesy. You're providing real value and solving actual problems your audience is facing. That's the kind of stuff that builds trust and keeps people coming back for more. And then share the load. Splitting up the workload for your podcast events not only makes the event easier to manage, but also allows you to leverage your partner's strengths. By dividing and conquering, you're setting yourself up for a killer event. So let's break it down. Your partner could take the reins on the promo side. We're talking social media blitzes, email campaigns, maybe even some guerrilla marketing if they're feeling adventurous. Meanwhile, if you could deep dive into crafting that killer presentation, it's all done. The one that you have your audience hanging on every word, that kind of presentation. This approach isn't just about efficiency, it's about creating a better experience for your listeners. When you're both playing to your strengths, your webinar or workshop is going to be top notch. Your audience is going to feel the difference. It's not about who does more, it's about who does best. And who knows, you might even learn a thing or two from each other in the process. Number 4 is sharing content and cross promoting. Cross promotion through email newsletters, social media posts, and blogs can drive traffic and enhance brand visibility for both podcasters. By mixing up these cross promotion strategies, you're not just driving traffic, you're building a network and boosting your visibility. Here's how to do it. Guest blogging. It's not rocket science, but it's pure gold for getting your name out there and climbing those search engine rankings. You're basically tapping into potential listeners who are already into podcasts. You're showing off your know-how to folks who might have never stumbled across your show otherwise. It's like getting a backstage pass to someone else's fan base. Every time you guest post, you're dropping links back to your own website. Google eats that stuff up, and before you know it, you're popping up higher in search results. Social media collaboration. Run a joint social media campaign or take over each other's accounts for a day to reach a wider audience. You'll be tapping into each other's audience, which means fresh ears for your content. This isn't just about posting, it's about creating a buzz. Remember, the key to nailing this is finding a podcast partner whose audience overlaps with yours but isn't identical. You want to expand your reach, not echo what you're already doing. And finally, create a referral program. Encourage your partner podcaster to refer clients, listeners, to you, and vice versa by creating a formal referral program. Offering incentives can increase the likelihood of referrals. By setting up a formal referral program, you're basically creating a content creation dream team. Your network is your net worth. So why not make it work for you? A solid referral program can help you tap into new audiences, freshen up your content, and keep your show growing. So here are some steps to take. First of all, you got to set up the program. You'll want to hash out the details of how this whole thing's going to work. Think about the nitty gritty, how listeners can actually make referrals, what info you need to collect, and how you'll track everything. Now for the fun part, the goodies. You've got to make it worth their while, the listeners, that is. Brainstorm some unique incentives that will get your listeners pumped to spread the word. Maybe throw in some exclusive discounts on your merch or services. Or how about cold hard cash rewards for successful referrals? That always gets people moving. And don't forget the power of reciprocal referrals as well. Setting up a system where you and your podcaster partner give each other shout outs or dedicated promo spots. It's a win-win that can seriously boost both your audiences and your income bottom line. Remember, the key here is to keep it simple and enticing. Make the process easy for your listeners. And of course, the most important part of this is track and reward. Using tracking tools is essential when it comes to monitoring those precious referrals. By setting up solid tracking systems, you're not just counting numbers, you're showing your partner podcaster that you're serious about this partnership. It's all about making sure they get the credit and the cash they deserve for every listener they send your way and you send their way. It's not just a good business, it's about building trust. Plus, when your podcaster partner sees you're on top of rewarding them, they'll be even more pumped to promote your show. Want to explore how you can do this, explore a little bit more deeply about the details on how to set this up? Set up a time with me on my scheduling calendar at mypodcastguy.com. And let's start talking about how we can get more listeners to your podcast and potentially to increase the income potential for your podcast.